Okay, so this is the video that talks about layer stacking and the unsupervised classification using ERDAS imaging. So this is the interface of ERDAS imaging. So what you do here is to right click. We are going to first import those images that we just downloaded. So when you right click, you click on this open raster layer. Then you navigate to the directory where your images were downloaded. So I think I have them here. Let me check. Yeah. Okay. Documents and tutorial. Okay, yeah, these are my images. So you can just click on the first one. Then when you click on old Control Shift and click the last one. Okay, still loading. So Control Shift and click on the last one. So it automatically selects everything. Then you can just click on OK. So I think it loads it up. So this is it by the left. Yeah. So you can just right click on this and zoom fit layer to window, same as zoom to layer, just for those that make use of ArcGIS. So fit, then automatically this comes to layer. So as you can see, the images are slanted, just like Dr. Markinde said in class. But the thing here is these particular images are actually already georeferenced. So there's no actually any need georeferencing it again. But the only thing you can do is they come as they come in geographic coordinate system. So what you can do is to just change them to their projected coordinate system. But before I do that, I'll first yeah, stack everything. So to do that, I'll come to raster. Then when I click on raster, I'll come to this spectral option here, then select layer stack. So this particular window will get open. So from here, you select all the images. You might not have up to this because this is what I've been working on. So I just select this. Okay, you select, let's select them one by one. So when you select the first one, you click on add here, then you see it here. Then you can come here, select the second one, click on add. So you do it until you've selected everything. Three. So once you've selected everything, just click on okay, you select your output file, sorry. Select output file. So you can just come here and navigate to where I wanted to save. Let me save it on okay, yeah, this is my file. So within this I can call it maybe layer stack. So one important thing I think you should know is it's better for you to name it using the year so that you don't get confused if you are working within the same folder. So this one now is for 2014. So I can just come here and save with 2014. Since you are still going to repeat this same process for 2019 and 2025. So it's just important that you save it with the year. So here the file type you can either save as this .img file format or you save it as the common .tif. But in ERDAS imaging, this .img format is like the best format that works with ERDAS. So that's why I'll just leave it at this default and just set OK. So then you can now click on OK here and it will stack all the images together as one. So once that is done, you'll be able to see this pop-up window. So so once this is done, you see it will show the percentage here as 100% and it will enable this dismiss option as well as all this cancel some of these options here, the buttons here. That's how you're going to know that it has been created, it has been generated. So it has said here done. Click dismiss to remove. So you can just click dismiss to remove this, but you can as well just close this tab. So by the time you are done with it, you would not see the image on the layer here. So you have to import it again the same way. Right click, click on the open raster, then navigate to, it's already on our root directory where we are working. So I just select the layer stack here and I set it as okay. So you automatically see that this one comes with like, it is not coming as the black and white format, it's coming with the images. So I think we don't need this other one. So you can just right click on this, or just select all first, then right click and remove this layer. So now I'll say we should project this with our projected coordinate system, like to reproject it. So you just click on reproject here. I think it's still loading. Start off slow. Okay, it has loaded up. So now on this reproject, I select the image I want to reproject. So that's this my document tutorial layer stack 2014 image. Then I select the output file, the place I wanted to save, or what I wanted to save as. So I can just navigate to my directory, then save it as layer stack reprojects for 2014, then set it. Okay. So now you see automatically by default is on the geographic coordinate system. So I can just come here and select the USGS UTM rather, UTM WGS 84 north. So from here then Kaduna is in zone 32. That's from 6 degree east to 12 degree east. So I just look for zone 32. Yeah, that's this. So once I set this, then you ensure that this resampling method is in nearest neighbor, because that's like the most accurate. By linear and cubic will not generate like accurate information very well. So then once you have done that, I think leave every other thing at default. Then you select OK. Then you see this pop up again. So I'll pause the video. Then once it's completed, I'll continue. So it's almost done. Just creating the image pyramid. So it is done. So once this is done, I can just close this again. So now the next thing, I can import it. I can just bring that layer, same method, reproject, yeah, then select OK. Then I can remove this one, remove layer. So we can fit this to window. So you see that this um like changing the coordinate system from geographic to projected still does not turn the image or tilt the image and make it straight. It still slants. So because satellite images are actually automatically georeferenced, so it will still be this way. So the next thing now is for us to clip the image by our boundary. So what we'll do is import our shape file for our local government boundary. So right click again, click on open vector layer. So then navigate to where your shape file is. So this is my shape file now. So once I click on this, I just select OK, and automatically I can see it here. So now to extract this, can you see that? So once you do the right thing and download the right image, automatically, because this shape file too is already georeferenced, it will automatically be placed accurately on the satellite image in the like correct position. Let me just say it that way. So the next thing is to create an AOI, that's area of interest, from this your shape file. So what you do is you click on this, so it automatically turns it to yellow. Then you go to home, then select this option, that's paste from selected objects. So once you do that, it's going to like create dotted like an outline on the image. So and it will have created this AOI. So you can even just put up this layer and you'll be able to see it. So once it is select, then you select this area of interest, just click on it. Then you go to raster, then select this subset and chip, then create let me see, create subset image. So it's load. So this will automatically open this window. Then select the image you want to um clip. That's this our layer stack project. Then set the output file. Let me just come here. So my output file will be inside this and it will be called let me call it by the name Chikun. Then this is 2014. It's just important that you name it with the year so that you don't get confused when you want to do other years. Then select OK. Then the next thing, you leave every other option at default. Then you click on this AOI. Yeah, and you click on select this viewer and just select OK. Then you can now click on OK. So this will run the operation. Once it's done, I'll cut. Okay, it's done. So I can close this tab. Then we will not see it. What I'll do is I'll right click and open our raster layer to just import the layer. Um, so I'll go to this. So this is it. Then select OK. So I can just remove these remaining layers. Remove layer. No, cancel. I don't want to select. Then this layer too is no longer needed. These two layers, just select both of them. So I remove them. So now you can see the clipped part, and this is still accurate based on the your area of study. So I can feed this to layer. Oh, sorry, I removed it. Chukun. Okay, and fit layer to window. So now once we are done, now the next thing for us to do now is the unsupervised classification. So to do the unsupervised classification, you can see it above here, unsupervised. Then you select unsupervised classification. So just like she taught us in class, we have two types of algorithm for the classification. We have the k-means and we have the ISODATA. So the ISODATA basically has the k-means integrated within it with some extra. It's kind of, let me just say, I would not really say better, but it is more advanced than the k-means method. So I'll select the input, the input raster that I want to classify. Yes, then I'm not going to make use of the k-means. I'll make use of the ISO data. But if you want to make use of the k-means, just select k-means. Select the number of classes that you want it to create. So number of classes basically is the different types of features that you want to identify. For instance, maybe water bodies, vegetation. You talk about bare ground, settlements, and all those things. So the number of classes you have is what you set here. But me, I'm going to make use of the ISO data. So I click on ISO data. So I automatically I get the hash of classes from 36. This is the from part and this is 2. So now this one is giving me a range, unlike the k means that I have to just set the number of classes and it will just create the classification based on the number of classes that I've set. This one now I can set a range. So I can just say, because me I need about maybe 5 classes, but I can just set a range that creates classes from 8 to about 15. Let me say 8 to 15. The minimum size, this is not really needed. I can reduce this maximum standard deviation to about 3. You can read up more on what or these other parameters are. The minimum distance, I'll still leave it as optional. The maximum iteration. So this is a classification, like a machine learning process, and the it will this maximum iteration is the number of time it will loop to just like redo the same process to ensure. So the more iterations you do, the more accurate your data or your processing would be. So if I say 10 iterations, that means it will go over this same process 10 times to ensure that what it is creating is correct. So for me, I'll just set it to 25, and the number of iterations basically will determine the time at which this thing will process, because the more you increase the iteration, the more time it takes to process. And for systems that are not really that strong and not powerful, it might just take a very long time before it is done. So I'll set the remaining convergence threshold, just leave this to default. And okay, I've not set the output file. So I'll just come here to set where I want to save it to. Um, so I'm going to set this as sorry, ISODATA, ISODATA classification for 2014. So, and click on OK. So once I'm done, I can just generate it. So it will do this. So as you can see here, the number of iterations will keep changing. To keep changing as it completes, it will move to the next iteration. So that's what it's going to do till it gets to the end. Although it will still do some processing too within this process, but just to show how the iteration works. So while we are waiting, I'll still pause the video again. So now it is done. That's created the classification for us. So I can just close it. Now right click again to bring the layer up. So let me see. That's the ISO data classification. Select OK. So I can put off this layer. So you see, as you can see, it has classified it. Now let's see how many classes we have. So you right click here and display the attribute table. So this will show the attribute table, and you see we have a total of 15 classes. Remember, I set from 8 to 15, so it just created the maximum here. So now this classification, it's not just done here. It's not, you are not done yet, although you have done the classification. But now it's important for you to state what each classes mean, and this will be done by going trying to view like a satellite image to get the information and know that okay, this particular thing, this is what it signifies. So for that, I'll be bringing up the um what's it called, Google Let's. Yes, I'll bring it up. So as you can see from this part of the image, you see that this place is like a water body. So I'll go back to my classification here and identify the colors for that. That's in this side. That's this brown part and this white part. So I'll identify it here. That's this number 8. So you can, for test purposes, you can make use of red color, because red color will be very significant to see it very well. So you just highlight it first, then come under this and select the color. So once I set red, you see it only took this part. Then I'll look for the other white parts. So I think that should be this, maybe this class 15. So I'll just set it on red. Okay, it's not it. So automatically, once you do that, you can just undo that change, since we are trying to make use of red to first get our water body. So it's not still this one. Um, Let me go to this 14. Okay, yes, it's 14. So automatically you can see that this has mapped from the red. Sorry, this. Uh, so from this red lines, you'll be able to see the water body. So it spans this place. Then you can see that there's still, it still goes this way, even at some parts here. Then you can see. And by the time we check this same thing on our satellite imagery, let me zoom out. You see the same water body here, all this here. So all this here, this part here still indicates the water body. That's this thing here. So that's the reason why you are seeing it as water body, because when it tried to classify based on the pixel, it saw that these particular regions and as well as this take like the same pixel value. Let me just say pixel value there. So as well as some other parts here. So once I'm done, I can just make them the proper color. Let me give them color of blue. So I'll come here, give it the color of blue. Then I can go to the next part, which is trying to identify maybe dense vegetation, because even from our Google Earth here, you see by the time I zoom into these green areas, let me zoom in very well. You can see it's more or less like maybe a forest. It's a very dense vegetation. So I'll try to identify this area within my classification. Then one thing I forgot to do is after you have changed, sorry, after you have changed the color here, it's important that you change the class name to here so that it will state it. So I set this as water body. Then come here, set it as water body. So now I have to identify the next part, which is my vegetation. So the easiest way to just do this is look at the color here. Okay, you are seeing like a brown thing, a brown color here. And by the time you go to the main satellite image here, is that same place that you are seeing as this deep green part that we said dense vegetation is what is showing as the brown color here. So I'll just locate that deep brown color, and that's I think this color. Set it as red first to ensure that it's that area. Then I say that okay, yes. So once this is red, I can set this as a dark green and name it as dense vegetation, because there are some areas with sparse vegetation. So I want to classify dense vegetation, and at the same time, so I want to classify sparse vegetation. So let me call this dense vegetation. So said this. Okay. Then I look at this other brown again. Try to make it red first. It's still within the same area and slightly very close to it. So this is still like the same dense vegetation. So I set it as this same dark green and call it dense vegetation. So I explained the reason for naming these classes because we are still going to use it again in something we call recode. So I set it as dense vegetation. So I want to believe that there are still some other places that are still like dense vegetation too. Let me set this to red. Let's see. Yes, this is still within that same place. So I've set this to as dense vegetation. So then I move to the next one. Now I would like you to note something. I said we also have sparse vegetation. That means within this dense vegetation too, there are some places that the plant or the trees are not really that much, but they are still there, but not as thick as these particular places. So let me set this next one again to red. Um, so now what I can do is based on this red, I can come back again to my to Google Earth and try to okay, what I can do is let me just see if I can fit both screens side by side. Okay, this is good. So I try to look at it now. This same part of red still covers our region of the dense vegetation. Yes, still the very thick forest, I think. Yes. So I can still make this one again dense vegetation. Set the color as the deep green and call it dense vegetation. So we are still here to get settlements, but as we move on, we'll still see whether we're able to classify settlements from our unsupervised classification. Now I move to the next one. I set this one to red. Wait, no, sorry, set the wrong thing. This is the one I need to set to red. So you first highlight. Always remember to highlight before changing color. So now, once I look at this red, we are seeing. Let me see. Let me try to figure out like this area, this part of her. So as you can see, that part is not as dense as, is not as green as this part that we've mapped as dense vegetation. So I can just zoom in to view. So as you can see, we don't have so many trees like like down here. So this will be like my first maybe sparse vegetation. So I can come here and select maybe a lighter green. Let me use this green color and call this one sparse vegetation. Okay. So, um, then one thing you must notice is I'm just trying to make the video short. That's why I'm rushing it. It's important for you to not just check one side. You try to figure out places where these things are. Aside this place again, you try to figure out, okay, I can see some of this around this part again. So you come to this place again and you try to see that, okay, so that you don't map maybe possibly there's a settlement there that was maybe that a settlement that is close to the dense vegetation part and you map it as sparse vegetation. So you try to zoom in and confirm that there are no settlements. Then that's the way you'll be able to confirm. And bear it in mind, we still have bare ground. We can see bare ground here. So maybe these white regions too are the bare ground. So we get to see as we move on. Now the next one, let me make this red. So we can see this part, it seems like it's kind of much here. So I'll try to locate where this place is. Um, that's under this side by this region. So it's still more of the vegetation close to I think this is a water channel. With the way it's going this way, this is a water channel. But we've already mapped it. So I think that place should still have some bit of blue. Okay. But it's not this much. So I'll still take this part as a sparse vegetation. Um, so sparse sparse vegetation. Then the next one, okay, how is this place mapped as water body? Okay, I think I made a mistake here. This is what should be called water body. This one is not water body yet. That's the one before it. So I select this, set it as red to see. Okay, so this is spread across it again. So I'll try to figure out what that is. Let me see. So when I zoom in, it's still more or less the sites with the places with vegetation. There are no settlements here, just vegetation too, just minor plants. So this will still be sparse vegetation. So this thing takes process. So the more classes you create, the more um distinct information, let me just say distinct information you get, but the more time it will take you to complete it. So it's left to you whether you want something that is very accurate or you just want to get your assignment done. Now let me zoom out again. Now the next area will be this part. We've already mapped the part for water body, so let's see where this falls. Okay, so this is already coming within the white part. So we need to be careful here because this might no longer be vegetation, it might just be bare ground. So we have to confirm this. Because the reason why I say it might be bare ground, you might be thinking that what if it is settlement? They are not have like gone through the satellite imagery. There are really no much settlements here. You can see one here actually. If I zoom in on this area, you see settlements here. As you can see, these are houses here. So they are also in some places not really noticeable. I think also in this side there are some settlements here. So these are some settlements. So I'm still trying to watch out for those places so that I don't map them as the wrong thing. If you notice now, this particular part here is here. And if you see, I've never mapped those white parts here. So I'm still trying to check to ensure that I don't map this side as maybe vegetation when I can see that there's a settlement there. So I'll try to see where, if you see, we have like white, we have gray, we have like white and gray. So we try to map it correctly. So now this particular red part, let me zoom. So it's very close to the vegetation here. That's around all this area. That's looking at this side. That's this side. And I want to believe this is a bare ground since it's already getting close to the settlement. So I'll take that side as a bare ground. So let me give it like a brown color, maybe sienna. So I'll call it bare ground. Bare ground. So then I move to the next one, set it again as red. So it's more or less the same side. So this also should be the background. So I'll set this as brown and call it background. Uh, okay. Then move to the next one. Set it as red. So this is quite much. Settlements are not up to this, but still note that we still have those white regions too. So I'll still set this one to again as background since it's very close to what was just mapped. Background. Then now the 12th one, let me set it as red. Okay, so now this is much, but we need to also confirm. We can see some red parts in this upper part. We know that there are settlements here, and there are also settlements here. I've already checked, but I have to confirm this red I'm seeing here is also a settlement because from the satellite imagery, I can see a little bit of ground and a little bit of sparse vegetation. So I can zoom in to confirm if there's any settlement there so that I don't map it wrongly. So when I zoom in, I can see settlements. See, that's how it works. That's like basically what I'm trying to say so that I don't map wrong things. So I can see settlements here. So this settlement one, so it confirms that by this region, which I can see here as red, there are settlements here. Now I have to check again along another place. Let's say along this side. So very close to this, see that there's a sharp corner here, this point, and that's this here. So I'll zoom in to see. So once you see network, like a network, a road network, there's possibility of a settlement being there. So we can see here, based on this, okay, I can see some settlements here, as you can see, some settlement. So that's number two again, that is confirming. But also note something. Okay, yes, so that I don't make a mistake. If you notice, we still have a white part within all these parts. So this might actually also still be our settlements too. So we have to be sure before we map. When we move forward again, there are still settlements. And you see that both the red part and the white part are close. But one thing I'm noticing now from here is this end part here that is by the wall, that's this side, is not mapping there to as settlement. And if we check again, there's no settlement here, but it's taking some part of this inside. So I want to believe this red part we just mapped is a settlement. So I'll give that one another color. So from red, let me give it let me see. Let me use yellow. Oh, it's not done a mistake. So just like I said, you might run into the mistakes of selecting more than one thing and changing color. So that's just what happened there. So based on these classes, that's the essence of setting class names too. So based on these classes, I can just change them back again. Yes. So I'll pause the video, and once I'm done, we'll get back to where we stopped. So I believe this is what we had initially. So now we've mapped this. Okay. I think this yellow so should be background. Yes. Then let me set the name here as background. Okay. Then we have two more classes. So let's set this one again to red. So you can see now this red are just small in between the brown, which we call the brown background. Yeah, we named it as background. So I want to believe the small red that are in between are the settlements. So we can set that as settlements. That's this one. Okay. So I can set it as color of, let me use red for it. I think we just have one more. So I'll come here again, set this one as red. So set it as red. Yes. And it covers up the whole area. So there are settlements. So I can just confirm now to see whether there are settlements in all the places that I can see red. So just zoom out here. Now I can see, sorry, oh, sorry, and this thing is it's layer too. So let me check around this region. That's this side. So we are saying settlement. There are some settlements there. So as we can see, there are actually settlements here. Then let me see another place. We are saying there are settlements around this side. So let's zoom in. Let's see. Are there settlements here? Okay, yes, yes. These are settlements. So with that, we've classified into, I think, five different classes. We have dense vegetation, we have sparse vegetation, we have water body, we have background, and we have let me rename this. Let me just call it settlement. So you can just rename the dense vegetation if you want to map out dense vegetation. But the first thing I would say is before you create your classes, you must first identify the features that you can see within that your image. First identify. For instance, there are some all these features now for this one are basically natural features. Some people might map out an area, and within those areas they'll still have maybe not man-made features. So you might have the likes of maybe a canal. Some places might not be water body. It might just be a canal that is there, a channel, maybe a dam. So you can just try to look at your local government. That's the satellite image. Confirm the things you have there. Once you have confirmed, you can place. If that one good thing about Google Earth is you can place this place mark or place markers on those parts. So you use different colors, just pin it there. Maybe use you can use the same color format. Your own might be more than five classes. your own might be 4 classes, but just ensure you have more than, let me say, 4 classes or 4 and above. So just like that. So settlement. Now once this is done, you can just save. Now the last part of what we need to do now is to recode, because we cannot leave it this way, that we have multiple items having same class type. So now we have to recode, so that we will to recode means to just join, to like merge these different classes into one, so that I can merge the dense vegetation into one, merge the sparse vegetation into one, merge water body into one, background as well as the settlement. So that's the next part. So to do this, what you do is you come to this part that says thematic. Let me make this full screen back. So you come to this place that says thematic, then you click on this option that says recode. So you can just cancel this option. Then it will load up this window, or this future. Then you select your input file. Now your input file will be this classified ISODATA classification. So before you even select input, you must ensure that you save what you just did. So you can just save with Control S. Then go back again, recode. Okay, to all. Then navigate to that particular file. That's our ISO data classification 2014. Select OK. Now when you select OK, you select your output file where you want this recode to save. So I come here, set it on our document tutorial. Then I can name it maybe recode classification for 2014. Then I set OK. Then now this is where you now set up your recode. So you click on this setup recode. Now it will open. Can you see? As you can see, it opens the attributes data. So now you now see that we have old value, we have new value. So what we are trying to do is change these old values into new values. So now you select all the same class, all the fields that have the same class name. So I select this one, then you can just press Ctrl Shift and just hold it down and keep selecting. Select 2, select 3, select 4. Then go down again to check if there are still any dense vegetation. Okay, you can see. Then what you do now is the new value is set as number 1, then you click on change selected row. So you see automatically new value for all dense vegetation becomes 1. Then we'll go to sparse vegetation to select all sparse vegetation. Okay, I think that's all. Change this to number 2. Remember to change the new value, because if you change this to number 1, it will automatically set both dense vegetation and sparse vegetation as the same thing. So change this to number 2 and click on change selected rows again. Then now we'll go to water body. Come here. We have Control Shift, sorry. Then change this to number 3. Change selected rows. Then we now go to background. Always ensure to select, even if you make a mistake and you forget to select one, just select all again and set it as that same number you initially gave, and it will just correct the error. So let's say for instance now I forgot to select this last background, and I already set these ones as number 4. Now it is still having its new value as number 12. So what I can just do is come here, select it with them, and also set it as number 4, and just click this, and it will becomes 4. Then I go to settlement, select all settlements, and that's our last class. And I click on change selected item. Now you just be sure, you reconfirm again 1 1 1. Ensure that all the new values are not beyond 5. So check again 1 and ensure that they all conform to the same class name. So 1 for dense vegetation, 2 for sparse vegetation, 3 for water body, 4 for background, and 5 for settlement. So once this is done, just click on OK. Then you can click on OK here. then it will generate the new um, image. So it has done that. So I can, okay, still generating. So now it is done. I can close this and now open that particular raster that's been created. Okay, this is its record classification. And once I open it, I'll see it. I can turn off this layer. So by the time you put on, by the time you check it, you might be seeing that you might think it didn't do properly, like because you are just seeing two colors here. Let me feed this to window. So we are just seeing two colors there. So you might think that it did not work properly. No, that's just like a default setting that was made. So you just open the attributes table and you see that it sets it as just dense and sparse. So what you can do is to identify those features again. So from this, you remember that this was our dense vegetation. So we set this again as dark green and leave it as dense vegetation. Then we come here. This was our sparse vegetation. So what I can, okay, what I'll just say you should do is, let me just away. So add views, go to home, click on add views, then create a new 2D view. So this will create a new view by your right here. So let's just remove this record classification. Remove layer. No, don't save changes. So right click here and open the record one here. Okay. So I'll zoom to layer here, click layer to window, and I'll come here, turn on this former ISODATA and fit that one to window. So now looking at this, then I'll now begin to do my mapping on this record classification. So I right click, record classification, display attribute table. So so once I right click, I can now do the updates here. So I look at it. This particular red part is the light green part. I changed it to light green, and that was what we called sparse vegetation. Sparse vegetation. Then I'll come to the third one, set it again as red. See, this is what we called water body. So set the real color as deep blue and call it water body. So then the last one, set, I can just know that this last one is okay, we still have two more actually. So we look at this part. This part is our okay, this is the part of our background. Yes. So set it as our sienna back again and call it background. Then this last one should be our settlement, which I can set it as color red. Sorry, let's change it again. Sienna, sorry. Always highlight before changing color. So red. Then I can come there and call it settlement. So once this is done, then you can see that the two images look the same, and now you are done with your unsupervised classification. Yeah, thank you very much. Do have a great classification.